Hi everyone. In this lesson, we are going to talk about getter and setter methods. A getter method is a method inside a class that helps us read the value of a property outside the class or outside a class. Now, before actually knowing about getter and setter methods, we talked about this. So we had this price property private, and then we wanted to still access the value but not change it. So we used this weird function right here. But there is actually another method, a better method than this one. I'm gonna comment this one out, and that method is called a getter method. The reason for that is because it gets the values of the properties, and then we can use it outside. But using a get method, we cannot change the value. We can only access that. And to be able to change the value, we need to make sure we have a setter method. We're going to talk about both of them in this lesson. So first off, first things first, let's go ahead and let's create this method. Now, usually the way it works is that we have a common convention in JavaScript, and also it seems to have transitioned into TypeScript as well, to providing an underscore for our private properties. Now, the reason for that, I'm gonna tell you. It may be one of the reasons. So if I have this price right here, and if I try to, now this is a getter method. I'm gonna come back to our underscore. Now, the getter method's name has to be the same thing as that property that we want, because we want to make this transition as seamless as possible. So outside the class, I have to be able to do some object.price. So like product1.price. I don't want it to be like something else, like product1.getPrice, and then it is going to give me the price. I want the name of this property to be exactly the same as the name of the function. That is one of the ways of working with this. This is going to help us get the property outside in a more meaningful way. If I have the property itself with the name of price, and then the function is going to be get price, at some point in time, when I see get price, is this a function? Is this a property? What is this? It is actually a property. It disguises itself as a function, but it is actually a property. So why not it be the name of the property itself? So it's like that. I hope I made it clear. So it is the same thing. As soon as I do the example right here down below, you're going to understand what I'm saying. So I'm going to say price, and what is the idea behind this? I wanted to return the price. So we are going to do the same implementation as like that get price method. We're going to say this refers to the class, and since I want to get the price, I'm going to select this dot price. And I save it. There is an error because it's saying duplicate identifier price, and that's why we provide an underscore there. Underscore doesn't mean anything else, just to make sure to denote or to indicate that this is a private property. Okay, so this is an underscore right there. Now, as soon as we do that, it says has a return type any whatever. It basically says that we are not selecting the correct thing here. So I'm going to say underscore, and then the error goes away. It's a lot of mumbo jumbo. All right. I think that is it for this getter method. I'm going to comment this one out so you can see the difference. Let's say log. Let's get our first product. And then as soon as I do dot, you can see I have ID, I have language, which is optional, I have name, and I have price. But the price has a blue cube. When it is a purple cube, as you can see, it's upright and it's purple, run promotions. This is the icon of a method. But this like laid down cube, which is blue, this is the icon of a property, and it is price. That's the beauty behind a getter method. It converts this method into a property that we can select, into a static property. And let's save that. Let's see, 10 right there. So that's why it's easier if the name of this getter method is the same name as the name of our property. So if I say get underscore method, and then in here I have to do get underscore price, you can see how it's a little bit unnecessary. So get price, it seems as though this is a function, this is a method, but it is not a method, it's a property. The icon says it's a property, and it is a property. So it's better to just make sure that the name of the getter method is the same thing as the name of the price. But since that is not allowed, we add an underscore to the property itself, and then it is allowed. Now keep in mind, we can access this, but we cannot change this price. So if I do dot price, I can access that. And if I set it to 11, we can't do that because it says, because it's a read-only property. The get method only reads it, but what method sets it? That is the setter method. So we are going to do the same thing. Keep in mind, the name of the method has to be for like clarification purposes. It doesn't have to be. It's a good practice if it is the same thing as the property. And what do we want to do here? We are going to do the same implementation. And I'm just going to copy paste that. Price return. Actually, I'm sorry, we're not going to do the same thing because we are not returning the price. We are setting the price. So when I want to set the price, what do I have to do? Now, when I set the price, I need to ask a price from the user. All right. So I need this method to absorb that price, to get that price. And the way a method gets anything external is using a parameter. So in here, I'm going to say price, which is of type number. All right. Now, once I got the new price, I want to set it as the property, as the value for our property. So how can I do that? This underscore price. I want to set the value of this to the price that the user enters. Cool. And that's it. So what we can do here is now we can change the price. And you can see there is no error. Now you don't need to worry, you don't need to invoke the set thing right here or the get keyword. They're just here to denote that this method, it extracts the properties or the specific property outside the class. And this method, it sets the value for that specific property outside the class. You don't have to worry about these two keywords again outside the class. So even though we have two different implementations here, our code still works. And this is why, again, and again, if it is a good thing if the name is the same thing as the property, because if there were two things, it might just end up a little bit confusing. So now if we take a look at here, we can see it's 11, even though in the object it was specified as 10, the price of the product, but now we changed it to 11 right there, right? Okay, that's it for this lesson. See you in the next one.